One of the biggest mistakes that FPL managers make is picking the wrong captain. I'm going to help you improve your captaincy record for the rest of the season so you can finish higher in your mini leagues and achieve a better overall rank. Let's get straight into it and take a look at the Gameweek 30 shortlist. First up, we've got the man in form, Harry Kane. He's got the only away fixture on the shortlist, but it is against Newcastle. Second, we've got Bruno Fernandes. He's got a slightly tougher opponent. He's playing against Brighton at Old Trafford. Penultimately, we've got Patrick Bamford. I delayed the recording of the video just to see if we could include him on the shortlist because I do think he's a worthy candidate. And by the sounds of Bielsa's press conference, it does sound like he's available. The last player on the shortlist is his teammate Rafinha. Both these two players have got a favourable fixture against Sheffield United at home. Through the course of this season, Kane has the best underlying stats. He's only 0.03 behind on the non-penalty expected goals per 90 minutes and 0.09 behind on the expected assists per 90 minutes. Adding both of those stats together, he's got the best non-penalty expected goal involvement per 90 minutes on the shortlist by 0.1. He's averaging over a goal every other game, and unlike any other player, an assist every other game as well. The other three players have similar numbers in terms of non-penalty expected goal involvement per 90 minutes. Rafinha hasn't been returning anywhere near as much as the other two players, and Bruno is out ahead of Bamford. A drawback for Rafinha is that he's not on penalties. Kane's on penalties for Spurs, Bruno's on penalties for United, and it looks like Bamford's on penalties for Leeds as well. But it's not all doom and gloom for Rafinha, and the next part explains why I've put him on the shortlist. He's got the highest expected assist per 90 minutes by 0.11, and his non-penalty expected goals per 90 minutes aren't too bad either. Ahead of him on the non-penalty expected goals is Harry Kane. He's also topping the non-penalty expected goal involvement per 90 minutes by 0.1 as well. Not only did he dominate the underlying stats for the season, he's also dominating the underlying stats for the form over the last 5 matches. In that period of time, he's been averaging 1.2 returns per 90 minutes. Quite far behind him in second place is Bamford. He's averaging half a return less per 90 minutes played. Both Fernandes and Rafinha haven't really stood out over the last 5 matches. Bruno's expected numbers have been really low, but he has been returning, and Rafinha's expected numbers have been high, but he's not been returning enough. In due course, Rafinha scored 2 goals and registered no assists. Bruno and Bamford both scored 2 goals and registered 1 assist. Bamford played slightly less minutes. And Kane doubled both of them. He scored 4 goals and registered 2 assists. Going off the numbers that we have, Rafinha's numbers are more promising than Bruno's because expected returns is more accurate of predicting future returns than actual returns themselves. Another drawback for Bruno is the fact that he faces the toughest opponents on the shortlist. Brighton have the best expected goals conceded per 90 minutes figure by 0.4 and the least amount of goals against per 90 minutes by 0.5. Whilst Kane's opponents Newcastle have been expected to concede 0.2 less than Sheffield United per 90 minutes, they've actually conceded the same amount of goals. Unsurprisingly, Bamford and Rafinha's opponents Sheffield United have the lowest chance of obtaining a clean sheet. In all fairness, looking at the percentages, all 3 of the opponents have around about the same chance of obtaining a clean sheet this game week. I do still think Brighton's defence is the best of a bad bunch because they've only conceded 7 goals in the last 11 matches. Based on the probability, Kane and Bamford have the highest anytime goal scorer odds by 18% and Rafinha has the highest anytime assisting odds by 2%. Comparing the percentages, Kane has the best chance of returning overall. He's also topping the Fantasy Football Hub points predictions by 0.7. And Fernandes is actually 1 whole point ahead of Kane on the Fantasy Football fixed points projections. Whilst this video is being recorded, Bamford's injury status hasn't been yet updated by the fix, so I can't provide a points projection for him. An advantage that the other 3 players have over Kane is the amount of resting time before this set of fixtures. Fernandes and the Leeds lads have had an ample amount of resting time, whilst Kane has only had 3.5 days to rest. This is down to Kane playing practically the whole of the last international match for England. Okay, so we've analysed all the data, now let's do a process of elimination to decide the best one. The first player I'm going to eliminate is Bruno Fernandes. I wouldn't usually go against the points projections, but I do think Brighton have a really tough defence and his recent underlying stats aren't very promising. The next player that I'm going to eliminate does have promising underlying stats, but he hasn't been delivering on them. It's Rafinha. Out of the two Leeds players, there's not much between him and Bamford. Something that did sway me towards Bamford is the possibility of penalties. The player who I'm tipping as the best captain for game week 30 has the best underlying stats throughout the season and over the course of the last 5 matches. He's also got the best probability of returning overall or scoring. As a disclaimer, I do think the other 3 players are good options, but I think he is the standout captain this week. It's Harry Kane. If you want to see more of these captaincy videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button and I'll see you here again for game week 31.